Welcome back, YouTube fans. This is a review of Figma EX051 Mash Kirillite from Fate Grand Order, the Shielder, who I have previously done a review of. Now, as you can see here, we've got the new box design. A lot smaller, more compact than the old ones, which is something I really like. I hope this helps on my shipping costs in the future, because I've always wondered if all the extra space in these boxes is something I'm paying for. Shipping internationally is a real pain with these things. I mean, I love this series and the figures, and I love this stuff to death, but I gotta worry about costs. There have been ones I've had to give up just because all the stuff I want can't afford it. But anyway, now this particular Figma seems to be pretty minimal on accessories and parts, but I can understand a bit of why that is. Mash here is, or Mashu, or however you want to pronounce it, is mainly a servant. This is her non-combat form that she takes whenever she's in Chaldea, your main headquarters, or in any other place where you don't see her in combat mode, or servant mode, whatever you'd like to call it. However, the interesting thing about this form is it very much reminds me of one of the school uniforms that you see in Japan. Now, the school uniforms in Japan are military-based anyway. Girls' uniforms, those sailor flukes and other ones you see, are based off the Navy, while the men's clothing you see is actually based off the old Army uniforms. So, little bit of trivia there if you didn't already know that. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned that before on one of mine, but it's there now. Anyway, now, she also comes with Foe here, which is her little familiar friend. He's actually got a bit of a role in the games, but he's mainly there just as the mascot character and to look cute. He does a little bit in the series, and I won't spoil what, but Foe here is pretty interesting, if you know what's going on. Now, this figure doesn't have anything for accessories aside from a small chocolate heart. Now, the chocolate heart here is because on Valentine's Day in the game, you can give Valentines to the servants if you collect enough of a currency, and basically you can get a Valentine to give to each servant to get a response from them in a short cutscene. You can only do it with ones you have, but since Mash is the default one, you can do it with her as part of a quest line in the game. I have not done it myself, but I've read up on it, as Valentine's Day is about a month or so away at time of recording. It's the 9th here, so it's going to be, 1 month, 5 days, roughly speaking. Now, she's got the usual set of hands. In this case, there are 6 of them. One to hold the chocolate in each one, and also some various finger graspings. The one thing she does come with to make up for her lack of accessories is extra stand parts for Foe, since he's kind of an accessory. They've got this little clasping mechanism here. Let me just adjust it. It's got a pivot joint here and here, and I assume this is supposed to clip onto this little plastic bit that's coming out of Foe's butt. Or, no, it's too wide. It's probably this pole's supposed to go in it. I'm sure there's some sort of joke you can make about the fact that the pole goes right up his bum, but I'm not going to make it. There we go. Yeah, I see now. This is one of those ones that clips to the stand like this. So you can adjust that and have Mash clipped into the back here. So you can clip the stand here to the back. Then you take this one out from Foe's backside. Got a little ball joint there. And you pop this one in. There we go. And now you have a cute little animal that can be sitting on her shoulder-esque. There's also a pivot joint here, and this has a ball joint on it. So you can pretty much get him into a decent position there to make him look like he's on her shoulder. Which is basically what he does. He's basically her familiar, as he's the only one who really understands MASH, as they're both artificially created beings. MASH here is a case of they cloned her using genetic material from multiple sources, but because the telomeres in it have to be from people who are already older, the genetic lifespan of this character is much shorter than a normal person. It's an actual case where real science would come into play if this were possible. It's not really known if this would happen this way with a human being if they cloned it, because no one's, at the time of this video, successfully managed to clone a human. The sheep and other things they've cloned, I'm not really sure about, but it is an interesting point to have in a story. It's usually the reason for clone disease that you frequently see in fiction, where a clone breaks down or is dying because it's a clone or something. Anyway, MASH here is a pretty good figure, and I like this character because she's a good support type in the game, which is something that I'm frequently in need of, because the supports I have usually are not the top tier ones, and she's a top tier support. The best being Waver and, well, it's basically Merlin and Waver at the moment who are the top two, but she's a good secondary. Though I do like this casual version of her. I'm kind of hoping that when the Master of Chaldea comes out, both the male and then later the female one, that they'll then give us like one of the other costume designs, like the school uniform or the combat gear ones. I mean, we can hope, but I wouldn't hold out too much hope because there's a bunch of them. Either way, the design is pretty good. Like some of the other ones, she has no waist joint, so she has less posability there. Though she does have a joint underneath her clothes, it prohibits her from like twisting her body halfway. Though at least you're not going to be seeing too many Escher girl poses with this character. But in either way, it's a pretty good one. I still think that these EX figures should come with more parts, especially considering what they are asking for them. But all in all, it's a decent figure, and I would definitely recommend getting it if you had the chance. Problem is, like the other figures that are EX, they were only pre-order and long in advance from their website. So unless you already got her, you might be out of luck. Either way, please like, subscribe, comment below, and share this video with your friends, and follow me on Twitter at the link below. And I'll see you all next time. Ciao!